Hello and welcome back to another Dune Awakening video. It's been a while and I want to do a quick little update video on my tax-free base. And this is the one I put quite a lot, not I won't say a lot of effort, but I've put some effort in the design. And I think this is going to be my forever base. You know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna tear this down because this feels a large spice refinery. And that's that. Yeah, so and at the same time we got a nice awesome view as well. So before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And I'm aiming to get 1000 subscriber by the end of the year. So every subscribe counts, and of course it is free to subscribe, right? Thumbs up if you like it, and of course you can thumbs down if you don't like the content. That's cool, right? But at the same time, do comment down below how I can improve for the future video. Okay, so let's begin with a quick little introduction of my base, and then I'm going to show you a trick. Or rather, this probably you have seen it, and I just want to refresh for new viewers as well, how to build a base that you can fill up to a large spice refinery. Because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is 7 tile high, and that is that I think that's the max. Yeah, that is really the maximum height that I can do. And of course, you have to kind of minus 1 tile because you need to put a foundation. I managed to squeeze some that goes right at the edge of the corner of the box or building box. So that's that. And of course, I tried various methods on the space design. So I'm going to give you a overview after the tour. So let's start off with the basement or the ground level. This is where I put my buggy and all my power. Or rather, this is the first. Oh, talking about power, I want to talk a little bit as well. It's going to be in this video because you want to feel as much power as you can at its maximum duration. Yup. And of course, you don't need a lot of power per se. For me, let's see, how much power do I have? And I put my console down here, and it is about 1,975. I can squeeze in 1 or 2 more battery generator or fuel power generator, and that goes without saying. I know there are some videos out there, they already made a calculation. This is, all right, fuel power generator. It is the best generator in what do you call this, cost to power ratio per se, or I would call it the amount of effort needed to upkeep a fuel power generator. And that is only if you're active in the game. If you are a little bit what do you call this, oops, I got stuck, oh no. Come on, there we go. No, there we go, open. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna edit it out. And where was I? Fuel power generator. Yeah, that's the most efficient if you are active in general. Like every week you refuel your power generator. Yes, it says 28 days for it to deplete, and currently I'm at 7 days-ish. Okay, yeah, 6 days. Okay, so that's that. But if you want to take a short break or a medium break, you don't want to use fuel powered generator. You want to change to a different one. Okay, so that's my power room. It is technically the basement or ground level. So we go to first floor. First floor, this is where I put all my refineries and whatnot. Yes, I have a large ore refinery. For every player out there, this is the #1 most useful item in the whole entire game. That's right, you want to strive to get for this. One of the big reason is because of the recipe needed. It is the lowest. For example, aluminium, it is one of the highest use. I only need 4 aluminium ore and 200 water to create. Duraluminium, 1 aluminium ingot, 3 jasmine crystal. Very, very cheap. In fact, that's the cheapest you can get. Unless they put an extra large or refinery. Not so sure about that. But yes, so this is the number one most important uh, item. Next follow up is the medium chemical refinery. We don't have a large chemical refinery, so that's that. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but there is one small little thing that we want to take a look later that revolves around the medium chemical refinery. So that's that. That's all I have here, right? We have our Freeman Dev Steel, Advanced Freeman Dev Steel. The only note I would put is there is no advanced fabricators, right? All of them is just normal, or rather medium. No, wait, the base version of everything. There's no advanced. Okay. There is one advanced fabricator, but that is technically a not important item. Right. This is mainly all the items that I usually use, and of course I put the small ore refinery and medium ore refinery here just for funsies. And of course, because we have the dev steel, we technically don't really need the blood purifier, but I just put here also for funsies. All right, so that's that. And then we're gonna move up. Do note, look at the space. I have lots and lots of space, so I can actually make it better by putting more or cramming a little bit more. But for me right now, it's just nice. And of course, the large spice refinery. You can see there's lots of space. And the resources I need is not here. It's all in the deep desert. That will be covered in another video because there is another topic I want to talk about. But before we go to that part, let's take another tour first, okay? Let's complete the tour. So that's that, first floor. Second floor, I put all my storage. Not the best place because if you want to take a break, yeah, you want to keep this in the lowest possible floor as you can because of the wall and structure degradation. Ugh, I cannot pronounce it correctly this time. All right. So that's that, and yeah, there we go. Lots and lots of medium storage container. I'm waiting. When will we get the large version? Because I want to have a large version for sure. Yep, it's filled up. Okay, just to show you, this is maxed out. That is my what do you call this? Building stuff, right? And then we have all the components. We have more refined ore over here. And the one that takes all the space is basically the items. And at the same time, spice and money. Yeah. All right. So that's that. And then we move on to 1, 2, 3. So the third floor, this is empty at the moment because I don't know what I want to build, and that shows you how much space you have that you can cram. And I'm gonna say this floor, it's open to anything. All right, that's that. And currently I have my small little, I have my sand bike over here. It's incomplete. That's for a reason. All right, and then we go to the fourth floor per se. Again, third and fourth floor is incomplete in a way. I purposely leave it empty. And for the fourth floor, I purposely have this big pentashield window. One of the key thing is I want to look outside and look for spice blooms. That's it. Yeah. And it's a nice view. Look at that. It's a nice view. I want to do a 360. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it like that first. Maybe I'll modify a little bit, especially. Oh, there we go. Spice bloom. Boop. That's the reason why I have it here. And of course, this is a not say a last minute addition, but this is something that I've tested out. And we have our omnidirectional wind generator, which we're gonna talk a little bit later. Just a quick coverage, not really a in-depth coverage because of the. I'm not gonna go through the calculation for sure. This is not a like paper accurate calculation. This is just from what I have been playing, and I found out that the omnidirectional wind generator is the best if you want to go for a long-term break. All right, gonna put a pin on that. All right, so we have fifth floor, and the rooftop. Technically, this is the rooftop. This is where I put my medium, my assault ornithopter, and at the same time I have an advanced vehicle fabricator over here. Now this is optional. In general, you don't really need it per se. One of the reasons why I want it or I need to build it is that I need to start building some endgame items. And that is number one, the Mark 6 wings for the scout and assault. And last but not least, I want to complete the game air code, right, by making a carrier ornithopter and a sand crawler. That would be my end game. And that's that. That's the reason why I have it over here. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so if you are curious on the build layout, oh, before we go up here, I just want to show you the measurement. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles by 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is a 4 by 4 plus additional 2 triangle tiles wide, and I don't know, it's just width. It's all around. Yep. The downside on this build is you get this little ledge over here. I could not find a good way to actually squeeze in. You could go by a 5 by 5 in general. Yeah, but 5 by 5 you have a little bit of space over here. That's the reason why I just leave it there. And at the same time here as well. I think 5 you kind of maxed out over here. Either one of the edge. One of the edge you get a little bit less. Yeah, so I decided to do this. Yeah, 4 by 4 plus 2 triangle tiles. So I'm going to show you. But come on. There we go. Alright, now it's time to see which generator is the best. Now before I begin, there is a few calculation videos about power usage, efficiency and whatnot on the internet, especially on YouTube. Now it goes without saying that the fuel power generator, that's right, the first basic power generator is the best, bar none. It is the most easiest to use and relatively cheap. In fact, it is the cheapest, alright? And that's that. So if you can get your base less than 75, not 75, but if you don't really need a lot of power, 75 is all you need, and that's that. Okay, let's talk about powering up your base for your tax-free haven, especially for those who want to take a break from Dune Awakening. There is only 2 generators that Dune Awakening offers that is the most useful one that I've seen so far. And of course, that goes without saying. There are lots of calculation on the internet and on YouTube, and it's unanimously stated that the fuel powered generator is the best, bar none. And I will also say that as well, okay? It is the most easiest to maintain, and that's it. The only downside, okay, let me refill this. The only downside is the total uptime. So it's 21 days, and for some people that's more than to begin with. If you, especially for those who are active in general, and if you play every week, yeah, it is a no-brainer. Get the fuel powered generator. Now for those who wants to go for a slightly longer break, I would recommend the directional wind turbine. And that is because you can store up to 31 days. And that's it. Okay, that's it. That's the only biggest difference. And of course, for the wind turbine directional or directional wind turbine generator, you get 350 power. So that's actually quite good, right? Especially for those who have penta shields. And of course, there are a few tips and tricks on how to reduce your power usage. For me, you know what? I like to keep some of my penta shields up, so directional wind turbine is just nice. Alright, if I were to shut down every single production line, let's see. Okay, I should disable this guy, 500, disable this guy, disable 243. Oh, there's one more, my advanced vehicle fabricator. And I can squeeze it down to 120 something. Alright, it is still, it's only 2 fuel power generator, because fuel power generator is 75, so times 2 is 150. That's it. Yeah. So total power consumption is very low for me for this base. Yeah. I think that's it. Total circuit power 93. That's it, 93. So I can actually turn on at least 1 or 2 more smaller things, but you know what? 2 is enough, right? 93 is enough. So in this case, I just need to make sure to have at least 2 fuel power generator all stocked up, right? Power generator 75 and times 2, that's it. That's all I need. So that's the biggest reason why fuel power generator is the best. But that extra 10 days, so now comes to the question, is that extra 10 days worth the effort? Now before we go to that, the reason why lots of people don't usually go up to that level is that you need industrial grade lubricant for your directional wind turbine. As you can see, spice residue, you need quite you not say a lot compared to I was about to say a lot, right? No, compared to spice infused fuel cell, that's a lot. 65 for fuel, yeah, no, this is too much, right? Spice infused fuel cell is just way too much. I've tested, and it takes too much. Yeah, it really takes too much. So industrial grade lubricant requires 5 spice residue, and this is only applicable, right, when you go up the tier to tier 6, because once you start farming for spice melange, spice residue automatically gets it's a byproduct, so it is like something you never planned for. And look at that, I got a lot because I am starting to build my own carrier ornithopter and sand crawler, so there we go. Yup. Now the question, the last question at hand is, would you go out of your way to farm for spice residue? Okay, this is the most important question. If the answer is you go out of your way to just to farm spice melange and for spice residue, the answer is fuel powered generator is still the best, okay? Hands down. But for those who are already starting to build up for more expensive tier in Dune Awakening, directional wind turbine is just like a natural progression. Eventually, you will stock up to 31 days easily. Alright, so now let's start building a 7 tall. 7 tall? No, 7 tile tall. Ugh. So normally you just put a simple, yeah, just pick a spot. Doesn't matter which spot it is. I prefer to have it on a flat ground, so it's easier for me to bring in the buggy and whatnot. And it's just mainly for presentation's sake. And at the same time, flat ground really gives you the most out of it. So that's that. Okay. So 1. So once you got your tile down, yeah, unfortunately I don't want to move this guy. So 1, 2, 3, and yeah, so basically you want to build at least 3 tile up, right, on a flat ground. That's it. And from there, we can demolish our sub-fifth, easy peasy. And then what you want to do is you want to do a little bit of measurement. Some you might want to go up to 4 tile high before you put your new sub-fifth because of the measurement. And let's see. Okay, so if I go all the way to the top, if you realize there is a you get to see that part. So now you don't want it to be above ground, you want just below it. One of the reasons is if it's above ground, you can't build at that level, which is a little bit painful. So in this case, I don't need to go all the way to the top. I can just put here. Now, I'm going to show you why is that once you go up to that portion, yep, you can't put this. It says exceeded building height limit, and that's the main reason why you don't want to put too high, because if not, you can't really put a nice little you can put a floor, which is good. And this floor, you can drive up your buggy, and that's about it. Yeah. So that part requires a little bit of fine tune depending on the terrain. So that's the reason why flat ground is nice for me. So yeah, buggy going up, no problem. And that's it. That's the only tip I can give you. And for those who probably need a refresher, that's how it's done. Okay, let's see if I can put it slightly lower. Now, of course, slightly lower, you lose your top height space, which is totally fine if you don't really need it. But obviously, I want to. 7 tile height is just nice. In fact, 6. 6 is the bare minimum. Yeah, exit height limit. So yeah, so all I did is just nice. 1, 2, 3, and then just put at the top. So there you go. So that's all I have for you for today's video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. Until then, I will see you guys in the next Dune Awakening video. We still have one. Oh no, I already planned for one more. And that is for cold storage. Yep. Alright. See ya, my friends.